The All Blacks have named their Rugby Championship squad for the 2021 Rugby Championship. It's nothing too dramatic from the squad that we saw in the July games against Tonga and Fiji. There are a handful of changes, but not too many. We'll go through the squad quickly. You can already see on the board who the ins and outs are, although it's not all that straightforward, seeing as some of the guys are still being retained. So the squad is like essentially 39 guys in the first instance. Hookers, you've got Aumua, Coles, and Taylor. So those are the same as the initial three guys who were named. Bloody hell, that wind is strong. Tokiaho was initially called up as injury cover because Auma's been having issues with concussion. And he is retained. Although he's not named, he's retained with the squad for now as just that, as kind of injury cover. Props, you've got Laulala, Lomax, Moody, Tyrel, Tuungafasi, and Tuungafasi, which means you lose Bauer and De Groot. But again, they've kept on Bauer as injury cover because Moody and Tuungafasi are not going to be initially available as they are still recovering from injury. De Groot is the only one of those four guys who's out, who's actually been returned to his NPC team, to play for Southland in the upcoming NPC competition, which is a few weeks away. So, it's an interesting one. I mean, Lomax I feel like he must have dirt on somebody at some point. Maybe they're going to get him right. I've said this before. I don't see it at the moment from Lomax, but I didn't see it with Tuungafasi a few years ago, so maybe they are going to get Lomax right. I wouldn't say he absolutely set the world on fire in his recent outings. A couple of these guys can play both sides, which is maybe useful because they seem to be a bit light on loose heads if Moody is not fit. But anyway, we'll see how they go up front. Locks is the same. It's Scott Barrett, Retallick, Tuipulotu, Vaa'i, and Whitelock, who is captain. Vaa'i didn't get any game time in the games against Tonga and Fiji, so it will be nice to see him get some minutes. But it is tough when you got the veterans in Whitelock and Retallick, who've been kind of the mainstay of that second row for the All Blacks for many years now, albeit with Retallick's absence in Japan, plus Tuipulotu and Scott Barrett also being really classy guys. So he's facing some stiff competition, but they do need to build because Barrett's 27, Retallick's 30, Tuipulotu's 28, and he's off to Japan next year for a sabbatical, and Whitelock's 32. So they need to give Vaa'i some minutes at some point. Lucy's is also the same. Blackadder, Frizell, Ioane, Jacobson, Papali'i, Savia, and Tutu. That's more of a mix in terms of the age groups. You don't have any 30-year-olds there. Remember, Sam Cane is not named yet. He's apparently due back towards the end of the competition, but he's not fit as yet. It's still kind of a waiting game to see how he goes with his injury recovery. All these guys are in their early to kind of mid-20s, with Frizell being the oldest, alongside Savia at 27. So, there's no real look about that back row thinking that's too old kind of thing. There's plenty of youth in there. Halfbacks, it's Perenara, Smith, and Weber. So Perenara has only just become available on his return from Japan. So he is in at the expense of Christie. But Christie, as I mentioned, is also retained. So you've essentially got four halfbacks in the squad. Halfbacks is one area where you do look at it and go, Perenara's 29. He'll be 31 by the time the World Cup comes around. Smith's 32, so he'll be 34. And Weber's 30, so he'll be 32. I don't know what Weber does at the moment. If he falls below Perenara in the pecking order, he's got to maybe consider his future at some point. As I mentioned, 30 years old is usually the time guys are seriously considering taking up cash offers elsewhere if they are not getting the game time in the black jersey. First five, Barrett and Moonga. It's kind of same. There's no changes there, and there wasn't expected to be any changes really. Midfield, Eno, Havili, Rico Ioane, Anton Leonard-Brown, and Tupaya. So again, that's the same midfielders, although Eno didn't get any game time. But remember, he had appendicitis. So he is back after having his appendix out. I remember ALB kind of came back from his injury as well. So, the midfield is kind of same. It'll be a little bit more bolstered when Goodhue gets back, but he's not expected back for a while as far as I'm aware. And outside backs, Geordie Barrett, Bridge, Jordan, D-Mac, and Stephen McKenzie and Sever Reese. So same there. No changes. Again, just the two specialist wingers in Bridge and Reese. and then 3 guys who play fullback, and 1 who'd rather be in the midfield, if that's Jordie Barrett's dream. It was a few years ago. I don't know about now. But, yeah, a few people were asking what's the deal with Caleb Clark. Caleb Clark, remember, he wanted to try out for the Olympics. He didn't make the Olympics 7 squad, but he is still travelling to Japan as a reserve kind of injury cover, because they've had to take their players with them. So, yeah, he's not available for selection. So, yeah, the ins are Moody, Tuungafasi and Perenara. All kind of veterans. We're not real startled to see any of those guys, but those first 2 are still carrying injuries. Bauer, Tokiaho and Christie are still in the squad as cover, although they're not officially named. And De Groot is the unlucky one who is legit out of the squad. But, yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts. They're still picking a few guys who are a bit long in the tooth or carrying injuries, which is, I guess, maybe a little concerning if you're looking towards the Rugby World Cup when you want to blood some of the younger guys. But as I said, there's other areas like the outside backs, the back row. There's a fair bit of youth in those ranks as well, so plenty to build on. But anyway, no real startlers, pretty steady as she goes. Maybe some people would have thought Perenara should have paid his dues at the NPC to come back, but they didn't do that with Barrett, so it's kind of to be expected that they let these guys go on their Japan adventures, and when they come back, they welcome them back with open arms. So, yeah, you guys take care of yourselves. Let me know your thoughts on this one. How do you think the All Black squad is looking? They are already talking about it a little bit on the Discord if you want to sign up. Or join the Discord server as well. Join that conversation. I'm going to pop on there now, actually. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon. See you later.